Hello, I am Certified Moth. Thank you for stopping into my video. And guys, it finally happened. I finally got a good tripod to use for filming sketchbook tours, so I don't have to have my janky setup anymore. I have an actual good one. Nice, awesome, that's incredible. Today we are going to be doing another sketchbook tour. This was my 19th ever sketchbook. This sketchbook is the Crescent Rendr Sketchbook, which is a alcohol marker sketchbook, so those don't bleed through these pages. The front of this sketchbook I painted with acrylic paints. I meant to do more with it, but then I left it kind of abstract because I didn't really feel like it. And then the back, I didn't really collect that many stickers this time around, just one from going to the Contemporary Calgary Gallery. And then this was a sticker for my friend. I know she's probably watching this. Hi! So yeah, this isn't actually my first time using a Crescent Rendr sketchbook. I've had two before, but both those ones were hardcover, and I definitely prefer a hardcover sketchbook to the soft one because it's just, it holds up to like being moved around in bags so much better when it's a hardcover. But yeah, so as you can see, this is the sketchbook it was, the Rendr no show-through paper. I mean, if you like to do alcohol markers, I definitely recommend this sketchbook. It's also okay for mixed media. Acrylic is okay in it, water-based stuff is fine in it, regular pens are fine in it. The only thing is that it's a pretty smooth paper, so if you do a lot of pencil sketching, you would need to seal that. So yeah, this was my 19th ever sketchbook. It took me from February 9th, 2024 to May 8th, 2024. So a couple months. I feel like I spent absolutely ages on this. I mean, really it was only really 3 months, but I've gotten to the point of my sketchbooking that I like to take a month to 2 months on a sketchbook. 3 just feels like such a long time to have one, but yeah. So this is my character, Hollyhock. I painted her with acrylics and then lined her with a fine liner. Her skin isn't this purpley, it's definitely more pinky, but whatever. This painting is fine. I really like the hair, the way I did the hair. I really think that looks nice. I actually waited a couple weeks, at least, to make this painting, just to take the pressure off myself. So what I actually started with in this sketchbook was this page, and I just wanted to start with something sketchy and loose that I didn't have the pressure to make look good. So these were thumbnails for my print class. This was for lino, and the prompt was to make a print that has some sort of emotion behind it. So these were my early ones. I ended up going with this one. As you can tell, I was having a time trying to make the anatomy look correct on the face. And then this was just a little test page of testing different materials. They all work pretty well on here. Like this sketchbook, I don't think there's that many things where it really goes above and beyond with them besides alcohol art markers, but everything works pretty fine with it. I actually don't know if they've changed their paper from the last time I had one of their sketchbooks, because I swear that ink and like marker, or not ink and marker, that water-based materials actually work better than they used to, but maybe I just use them better than I used to. So yeah, starting off, I wanted to do some stuff that I thought was pretty aesthetic in here. I mean, I didn't stick with this for the whole sketchbook, but I wanted to start with something kind of fun. So yeah, just some paint swatch. This is my character Amaris. I believe that's his... That might be... No, that's my character Teva's mother, I believe. That's Teva. I think I drew this for Valentine's Day. Just the receipt from an Indian place me and my friends went to. Drawing on a Dairy Queen napkin. Amaris and Teva. Their designs changed a bit in the end of the sketchbook. These were some animals I drew in my English class. I really only like the dog, but whatever. This was the planning for a drawing piece I was doing, and then these little doodles. I had to do a presentation for one of my classes, and the professor made a point to tell us that we had to use like body language and hand gestures to our benefit in it. But I thought it was just so funny because when I was little, I used to perform in like music festival, and I was told to practice with cans in my hand, so I'd stop using my hands and like moving my hands while I was singing. And then now in the present, it's like I'm being told actually I'm supposed to be using my hands when I'm talking and presenting. I mean, different scenarios, but it's still funny to me. This was just the planning for a piece I haven't done yet. And this is some acrylic paint. I found it down in the art studio at my dorms, and then I put it on some like styrofoam to get the texture of it. This was some planning for that piece for my drawing class. I was testing different materials. This was a sketch of my plan for it. This was the piece I was appropriating from Cloud of Cahoon's I Am in Training, Don't Kiss Me. Yeah, and then these were the thumbnails from the actual pictures I took for the project. I ended up going with this one. And it was 40 by 60. It was a big drawing. Then I drew a lobster with some alcohol markers, just some little doodles. These were all in English. Another piece that I have an idea for like making a painting. This one I was just making the same sort of abstract marks on each page, and sort of like I wanted them to be similar but still have their own flair to them. I don't know why this is in here. Someone must have given this to me. Yeah. I drew some feet. I like this one actually quite a bit. This was another piece I've been planning for, but I haven't actually made. I can't draw bald people, don't look at these. I want to get better at drawing bald people, but it just, I don't know. I start drawing them and then I get freaked out. These were some China ink and brush figure studies that I was doing to warm up for a project. I am absolutely obsessed with these. I need to do more brush and ink figure studies, especially I think this page is really strong. My school does something called a gallery crawl, where all like the school gets opened up to the public and there's art hung on like every wall all over the school, and there's like you could just wander around. And then this was a little thing I took down from the wall. I was performing for that thing. I performed in a little band, and they had little stars hung up on the walls to tell you where to go. But yeah, I don't think we were allowed to take these pamphlets out with us, but I did anyways. A really colorful page because I felt guilty for not using enough alcohol markers in my sketchbook. I did this page in art history. This was from someone who was being shown to us as a case study. I think she's like a Quebec artist, I think. I don't know, she's French-Canadian, but she's like a dancer, a contemporary dancer, I think. I honestly forget. Then I think I did this with a Tombow calligraphy pen. Big fan of this one. If heavy metals are so bad for my body, why are they so good for my soul? That's so real and true. Then this was more planning for a different drawing project. It was for my final drawing project, and it's a fashion-based one. I went and sat out on the campus. This isn't my school's campus, it was like another school's campus that's right next to mine, and I just drew one of the buildings. And I drew my character Serafina. Love her. More Serafina. I used some alcohol markers and tried to sort of I've always had a hard time figuring out how to shade with them. So in this one I wanted to shade a lot like how I do when I'm painting, which is like really colorful and blocky. So yeah, I think it's pretty fun. And I think these drawings are cute. I took a little walk down to the river in my city. There were some geese and ducks sitting. I really hated these at the time, but I think they're really cute now. Then I drew like the walkway here, and then I drew a bunch of people I saw walking by. All of them are facing away from me, but whatever. And I only had like I don't know, 15, 30 seconds at most for each of these, because these were all people who were waiting to cross the street, so I did not have the most time. These probably would have been, yeah, these would have been people on the train that I was drawing. Big fan, yeah, lots of fun. Actually, this was someone from my art history class, but these four were from the train. This was my planning for that project I was talking about. I made a lino block for it. And then I also made another lino. It was like a hand holding some oranges. Lots of fun, but I like to, I think it's really fun to use lino prints as like a little coloring sheet. So I think this is a really fun little thing I did. I should do more of these. Then just a little drawing I did. The perspective is definitely wrong, but I think it's still fun. Colored with alcohol markers. This is the planning for a painting I'm still working on. It's sitting upstairs right now, waiting for me to start working on it again. This is my character, Amaris, but girl mode. I really have a hard time figuring out how high up to place boobs on a chest. Like, I feel like these are too high, but anytime I'm drawing from imagination, I feel like I just draw them too high up. Then that's Amaris from like in a bunch of different styles. I drew these in art history, I believe. I want to make a coat that's just like absurdly long. I think it'd be silly. This was a bit more of a planning for that piece. And then these are some self-portraits. That's me with, that's me glass blowing, or it wasn't really blown glass, but I was still working with hot glass. And then this one, my mom straightened my hair and it looked a bit weird. So I drew that. These were some paintings. I did a video of these paintings. I'll put that video in the iCard. But yeah, a self-portrait. Then some figure studies. I remember I did these in English, I believe. A lot of fun. Then this one was a still life from these random items I had sitting on my desk. Drew a guy on the train. And then I've been watching House MD a lot lately, so I wanted to try drawing House and Wilson, but I cannot draw older men, middle-aged to older men. Wilson looks okay, like I can tell it's supposed to be him. It doesn't really look like him, but I just had to scribble over House's face because it looked so fucked up. Silly hats, very fun. Yeah, I've been really into silly hats lately because there's an artist who I have been following lately who does a lot of like crocheted hats, and I think that's really fun. And I love silly hats, so I've been drawing a lot of them and trying to learn to crochet. I'm a big fan of this one and this one. I don't know, there's something about them. And also, I think this one's fun. Then I made a video of this one. It was like just a little sketchbook vlog. I'll put that in the iCard as well. More silly hats. This one has never looked good on camera. It looks fine in person, but anytime I put a camera in front of it, it looks so bad. More of my character Amaris. This was the point where I started to get sick of my style and of his design. So then I started playing around with his design a bit more, trying to figure out what I think he would wear. And I'm always interested in like how like fantasy culture's fashion would work. And I feel like I want it to be socially acceptable for men to wear skirts of some kind in his world. Cause like, look at these. These are so cute. And also I do love these like, what are these called? I can't remember what these pants are called, where they've got like kind of a higher waist but a low crotch. But yeah, my go-to to him has always been like just pants and a button-up shirt, but I just feel like that's not him, but I feel like these definitely are. And I really like how my style looks in this one. Big fan of that one. I'm trying to make all my art look a bit more like this. And I tried that again, but it looked a bit too realistic, I think, for that. This is a video I'm planning on making of why I chose to do fine arts over design, so I was just thinking about how I would do a thumbnail for that. This one's definitely, the colors were too saturated, but yeah. Then this is my character Teva. I was also feeling sick of his design, so I changed his hair, because I always default to giving people bangs, but I just feel like that's not him. I feel like this sort of like middle part looks really fun on him. Also, I love his face in this one. Like, these ones with green in the background, ooh. I tried giving him glasses, didn't like it. So yeah, these are sort of more what they look like right now. I'm still struggling with them. Then I was thinking of like some pre-canon and then early canon designs for Teva, because he was like, before the story, he was like a physical laborer. He did like, I guess it's like a lot of landscaping sort of stuff, and then early on in the story he goes to like the capital and is a gardener slash landscaper there. So I wanted to come up with like a really fun, bright, fancy design that sort of feels almost too fancy for what he's doing, but it's still like, it makes sense because the person he's working for is very much the kind of person that would splurge and have their employees wearing overly fancy clothes for the occasion. Yeah, more Teva. I really didn't like this outfit. This was the one I kind of settled on. I think it's fun. I definitely would need to adjust the colors a little bit. This one is a lot of fun. So in the next little bits of the sketchbook, I was planning for some videos I'm going to be making for Pride Month, which is personifying different pride flags. So this is probably the one I had the most trouble with, which was the lesbian flag. I wanted her to have like a, is it 70s? I think it's 70s inspired look. But I put this in later. I had so much trouble with her because at the time I didn't realize my theme for the overall like sort of series is going to be that they're all art students. So later on I made her a photographer. That's when I made this drawing, but yeah, I really am a big fan of her design. Some figure studies. I don't know how long I had on these, but I think like these ones look quite nice. I really like this one. I don't usually love this kind of pen for figure studies, but I really think it worked for me here. Then I did some 30-second ones with alcohol marker. Some more. I don't know how long I spent on these. I quite like the torso in this one. And then I love this page. So it was 2 5-minute poses and then some faces. I think this page turned out so nicely. More Amaris, but I feel like I sort of lost the plot with his hair a little bit in here. Also, I've been thinking of getting rid of his pointy ears. I just don't know how I would justify that plot-wise and if it's really essential. So yeah. But I don't know, he looks so like empty and bare without his pointy ears, but at the same time, I don't know. Little Teva chibi. I honestly don't remember what this was. Like some sort of outfit planning, but I don't know what it was for. Oh, yes I do. I was thinking of remaking my persona, and I just don't know what I'm gonna do for that, so I was just doodling for it. More figure studies, then I went and I filled them in with watercolors. More figure studies. You can always tell when I'm getting sick of a sketchbook when I start doing a bunch of figure studies in them, because like, I don't know, they fill a lot of space quickly. I quite like the twist in this one, and same, I like the motion in this one. This, I got really into playing Stardew Valley. It's why this sketchbook, partly it's why it took so long to make, because for a couple weeks I was playing Stardew Valley like probably 5 hours a day at least. But yeah, this was my character. I love her a lot. I give her Farmer's Town. I think that's so cute. I romanced Haley this go through. So that's my character bringing Haley some sunflowers. And I really wish this wasn't here. It was just like a little doodle that I was thinking of painting, but whatever. Then this is a little comic that I thought was funny. So I was at the what do you call it? It was like the summer or spring, I don't remember, event for the desert where everyone goes and there's like the big festival. And I went to Emily's fashion thing, and the outfit she gave me was the dinosaur outfit. So I had like the dinosaur hat and the tail pants, and I thought that was so awesome. And it also happened to be one of the days that Haley was there and she was suntanning. So I just imagine this little comic where she's like suntanning and I run up to her and I'm like shouting her name and like, look what your sister dressed me in, and it's this horrible outfit. That's another design for the Pride video. That's the pan guy. He's a ceramicist. Then more figure studies. These would have been some really fast ones. Some that are a little bit longer, working with the chisel nib of my alcohol markers. And then I just grabbed every single blue art supply I could find in my little organizer and I took them upstairs with me and drew our dining table. So yeah, I think that's pretty fun. It's not like the best, but I still think it's fun. Here's more of that Pride video. These next, actually it's still a bit until it's all of them, but this was the gay design. He's a sculptor and a hiker. I love his shoes. I'm really excited to draw those. I crocheted a hat with little horns on it. It was a little bonnet with horns. I love it so much, so I had to draw it a couple times. And then I got some alcohol markers. I got them from the dollar store actually. They were Tombos. And it was this whole pack for $5 at the dollar store. I don't know why they were there for so cheap, but I am not complaining because they're so nice compared to what's normally at the dollar store. Ignore this, it turned out bad. This is a little drawing of me. Actually, it was back from when I graduated. It was me in my grad dress, and I took a picture in with the 0.5 filter from above. But I actually ended up really liking this drawing, especially the eyes. Here is gonna be all the Pride designs. So yeah, this is Bi, she's print. This one is trans. They're jewelry. This one is non-binary and they're fiber. Also, all these designs, they're not gonna be the final ones. They still have a lot of fine-tuning to go. These were just I wanted to have them sketched out before I start trying to make the actual video so that I'm not struggling in the speed paint. This is another painting I did. It was for art history. I had to recreate a painting and then write about it, so I did Tom Thompson's The Jack Pine, which is a pretty famous Canadian painting. This was the Arrow character. This was another one I had a really hard time with because I'm aromantic, so it's I don't know, I felt like it had to be perfect. It ended up being heavily inspired by me. This was the asexual character. I was really struggling with him at first as well, but then I ended up quite liking him. Then this was the queer character. She's a lot of fun. I was also having trouble with her outfit. I was kind of burnt out of making designs at this point, as you can tell. Here's a more finalized version of the pan design, and then this one is the gender fluid design, who I think is they're still a work in process. Then I got really into Splatoon, abnormally. So that is, oh, I forget his name. That's embarrassing. I don't know, it's one of the big salmonoids that you have to face when you're playing Salmon Run. Why can't I remember its name? Oh, that's bugging me now. I drew this with just Crayola pencil crayons and I'm really a big fan of it. I love all the mark making in it. Then this is a griller. This is just a little Salmon Run outfit, and then that's a golden egg. And then this was the end of the sketchbook. Again, it's my character Hollyhock. Love her. I used some very bright yellow, almost fluorescent paint, a little bit of alcohol marker, and then paint pens. This isn't my absolute favorite drawing. I think the angle of the shoulder is off, and also the blush on the face is a bit odd. But I mean, it's also not terrible. I was just ready to be done with this sketchbook. I was so ready to be done with it. But yeah, so that was this sketchbook. Final thoughts on it. I think it could be better. You can definitely tell I wasn't loving the size of this sketchbook. I usually go for much smaller ones. So I was really struggling to make the most of my pages and finding the motivation to keep working at it sometimes. But I did enjoy drawing at this bigger scale sometimes. I do wish I'd used more alcohol marker in it just because it is an expensive sketchbook meant for that, but it's whatever. This definitely isn't my best sketchbook, but it's not the worst. Honestly, I don't know if I have a best sketchbook. I don't really like any of my sketchbooks. I have a little mini intro to my 20th sketchbook, just a sneak peek of what I've started in it. I haven't really done my intro page yet. I've sketched it. I did some fun little, what do you call them? Mixed media pieces. I drew a Kohozuna because I'm really into Salmon Run. Yeah, so I've just been having a lot of fun in this one, enjoying the smaller sized sketchbook again. A lot of fun, but yeah, that's all I've done in here so far. I've only had it for how long? Hold on. I've only had it for like a week so far, and I haven't really worked in it that much. I've been kind of busy, so yeah. So that was my 19th sketchbook. Glad to be done with it. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a like or a comment or anything. I really appreciate it. I always like to respond to comments. It's a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Goodbye!